before.
This is Yami Bolo from out of Jamaica, and I fully endorse SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Bless your love. Yami Bolo said that.
Yeah, it's your girl, Kerry Lopez. I'm so right about now. I'm representing for SPRB Radio Podcast. Not no normal about that. So I'm a 10-Star General. Big up yourself. And the beautiful host herself, Sharon Mango, Kerry Lopez in Jamaica, representing for the podcast show there. I'm going to tell the people, check it out. Not no normal about the settings for me. I send you there, you know what time it is. They come see me. Yeah, I tell you, say whenever I wanna mix business with pleasure. Yeah, man. I wait there. Check out the podcast now, man. 10-Star, tell them the man.
Yes, bless. It is like Turbulence to the Future from the Tread Almighty Camp. And I fully endorse SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General. I'm going to talk about Sharon Mango. Check it out. Trust you won't be disappointed. I could have been one of the most notorious ladies. I'm still loving you, even though you're gone. Interesting.
Hey, what's up? My name is Ray Vaughn, and I fully support SPRB Radio Podcast. Check in.
Hi, this is your girl Winnie.
And this is your girl Freddie.
From out of London.
And we fully endorse
SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General
and Sharon Mango. Check them out.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Keisha Martin. Fully endorsing SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. You already know it's a whole entire vibe. And I mean say, everybody just rock and come in, cause we are jamming at the housing scheme. Bring your queen and leave your machine, cause up here good vibes on the scene. In rock steady, baby, rock steady. Right over to SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. Keisha Martin says so. Fully endorsed.
This is Jojo Mack, and I always tune into the SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. If you love a good conversation, you should too. Check it out.
Greetings, one and all. This is Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to Stock in Promotion, Royal Blend Radio. The station with integrity, the station with a difference. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown says so. Full endorsement. Stock in Promotion, Royal Blend Radio. We now stop till we drop. Zane, bless.
The Live Conversation Show.
This is The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Hello everyone, I am Pistol and this is The Buzz. Dancehall will be firmly placed in the spotlight this year when International Reggae Day rolls out on July 1st. From Brockins to dancehall, the global influence of 80s and 90s dancehall is the theme for 2023. And according to the organizers, the intent is to showcase that era which helped to shape Jamaican music and its impact on global culture. IRD remains committed each year to spotlighting a chapter in the rich story of Jamaican music. We also place special emphasis on recognizing the creatives and institutions who have contributed to each genre, while highlighting how each chapter has influenced and made its mark globally. Founder and producer Andrea M. Davis told reporters, Davis emphasized the relevance of both genres and also pointed out that the emergence of dancehall music in the late 1970s sparked a turning point in the evolution of Jamaican music, driven by the vibrant sound system culture. IRD's tagline is Unite, Uplift, Inspire. Claudette Kemp, the insurance executive who became an influential figure in the music industry, died on June 9th at the age of 75 in St. Andrew, Jamaica. She passed after a lengthy battle with complications related to her kidneys. Since 2000, she has been manager for artist Capleton, whose fiery persona contrasted her easygoing manner. Prior to that, Kemp managed Beres Hammond for over a decade. She was also associated with singer Keith Poppin, whose 1980 Festival Song Contest campaign she managed. Poppin told reporters that he first met the Manchester-born Kemp while she was a claims manager at Dial Insurance Company. Kemp is credited as producer of his entry Jam Down Festival, which was released on Peter Tosh's Intel Diplo label. Capleton hailed his late manager as a consummate professional. Sting, the greatest one-night show on earth, returns to its Jam World Portmore St. Catherine home this year to celebrate its 40th anniversary, having moved in 2022 to Grizzly's Plantation Cove in St. Anne. Plantation Cove is a very nice venue, but Jam World is my home. I'm back home, so people all the walk foot from Portmore and those who can jump in taxis from Kingston. Sting is back at Jam World. Supreme Promotions CEO Isaiah Lang told reporters at Sting's launch November of last year, Entertainment Minister Olivia Grange announced that the government had acquired the 70-acre Jam World property. Addressing some of the contentious issues that surfaced last year, Lang started with the lineup. In a departure from 2022, we saw the team ditch veteran acts in favor of a gaggle of current artists. Sting will be headlined by the 10 giants of dancehall. He said, "We never ditched veterans. At least I, Isaiah Lang, never did that," he insisted. He said, "Changes have been made, and the change is I am going for veterans. Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, Sizzla, Capleton." Quizzed if the acts were signed and if he had any concerns that the veterans would still be feeling dissed and refuse to participate in Sting 2023, a confident Lang said he could count on them to understand. Reggae and dancehall star Egyptian hits the road in support of his new singles, Only Room for Two and Hot Gal Walk Out. The Only Room for Two tour started in Allentown, Pennsylvania on June 10th and moves through the U.S. and the Caribbean with a stop in South America along the way. Among the 14 announced dates, which run from June to August, are performances in Georgia, New York, and Jamaica. Additional UK shows will be announced soon. Last month, Egyptian shared competing fantasies on his 2 new songs and their accompanying joint music video out via VP Records. He has remained busy performing and giving a presentation at the Island Space Caribbean Museum in Plantation, Florida, where he gifted the museum with a gold plaque for his hit Hold You. Having made a name for himself in dancehall circles, music producer Tariq Johnston, known as Russian, set about finding a niche in the lucrative Latin reggaeton market. The 35-year-old has racked up multiple Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, certified plaques for songs that he either produced or co-wrote, and not only dancehall and reggaeton. He said the move has been a rewarding one. The most recent RIAA certified single that Russian produced is Nostalgico by Raw Alejandro and Chris Brown, which was certified 5 times platinum Latin in March last year.
I am Pistol, and that, my friends, was The Buzz. That was The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Now here's a song from our sponsor, Jojo Mac.
The live conversation show. They wanna be with me, have their way with me. I'm a mystery. Got them in suspense like in the movie. In the movie. And the fantasy. All up in their head, neurology. They really wanna know me. All the men are talking about me. Say they like what they see, They love to see me on the go. Makes them holler, makes them go wee. All the men are talking about me. Say they like what they see, They love to see me on the go. Makes them holler, makes them go wee. All the men are talking about me. Say they like what they see, They love to see me on the go. Makes them holler, makes them go wee. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Greetings, one and all. This is Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to Stuck in Emotion, right now, blend radio. The station with integrity, the station with a difference. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown says so. Full endorsement. Stuck in Emotion, right now, blend radio. We now stop till we drop. Saying, blessed.
Hey, listen up. This is Jerry Harris, SPRB Radio Podcast Show. Check it out. With 10-star General and Sharon Mango. The live conversation show. Check it out. Don't left it out. Oh yeah. Hey, SPRB Radio Podcast. SPRB Radio Podcast. With 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Yeah, SPRB Radio Podcast. SPRB Radio Podcast. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yes. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Now. Yes, SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Check it out.
The Live Conversation Show.
Total satisfaction for your heart.
Okay, my guest today is the great man himself, the great veteran himself, who's been it from 1901 till now, doing diligently, doing great, and he's on our platform right now, Mr. Fragga Ranks. Take a listen to this.
Total satisfaction for your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul. To keep your heart together, that's our goal. I want to ramp with them for no Fragga, you know. Live up. Watch this. Alright then. We must try and abide the war and the strife and live up in love. Whoa, 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 whoa. We must try and abide the war and the strife and live up in love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Competition become a problem of the human race. True ignorance of it, none for them go embrace. Run go take life and fly up in a Jah face. But from them judgment, them now go escape. Typhoon, flood, fire and earthquake. Love it inflict pain and them can't take it at all. 250 years them send the sentence start. Tell me why you do the crime after all. So we must try and abide the war and the strife and live up in love. Whoa, 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 whoa. We must try and abide the war and the strife and live up in love. Oh, oh, oh.
The Live Conversation
conversation show.
Wicked up between Fragga Ranks and the great Cynthia Slash. It's like relationship over found in a rat trap.
How could you be so unkind?
Because you're dissing.
It's totally impossible
So you
to tell
feel?
me to stop loving you. Definitely unreasonable to tell me not to cry.
So sacrifice of
I built my whole world around you. Now someone else has found you. Try my shoe on your foot.
You never
Tell
know
me,
the
would
pussy
you
get
be
caught by the neck.
satisfied? I wouldn't play that game.
This a serious
No way,
thing.
I wouldn't cause you pain. No way, I wouldn't wreck up your life.
Your apologies
No
not
way, I
accepted.
wouldn't cramp your style. Sugar daddy.
This me already, you with this me again. Relationship from the start to the end. Cynthia Slash, you was me article girlfriend. But you Chris Civics and a under legend. You want see me go in a tree run, go and go hang. Joke out a road, you have a next boyfriend. But Fragga Ranks no say him no condemn. The relationship, yeah, it never got sent to. This me already, you with this me again. Go tell her, this me already, you with this me again. Fragga come out as the girl them legend. Any problem I can solve them.
Now you done, sugar daddy.
You never know that
Big
before.
time celebrity. Alright.
Celebrity to the extreme.
Whoa, whoa. It's totally impossible.
Then why
Tell
you
me
this?
to stop loving you. Definitely unreasonable to tell me not to cry.
Let me play one more. Let me play one more. One of his first tracks that he ever recorded.
No, up Johnny. Boy, me I tell you no. But alright, all girls, big up. Up me up. Y'all don't give me the bed. Pull it up again. Pull it up again. Pull it up again.
You know I love my pull-up.
Let's pull up. Pull it up. Stop that.
No, up Johnny. Boy, me I tell you no. But alright, all girls, big up. Hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk, hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk, hug me up. Because you're fat till you buff, hug me up. Because you're nice enough, hug me up. Because you're property enough, hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk. Take her from country and she me set up.
One Fragga.
Street looking conspicuous. Kiss me neck back, me get me bed bust. As me turn my back a bag a man want the work silly today. Him lick it down first.
If you do not know about Fragga Ranks right now, I do not.
Right.
You are being on, all right? I'm going to play it one more time just to refresh your memory.
Yes.
It's just the programming. No, up Johnny. Boy, me I tell you no. But alright, all girls, big up. Hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk, hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk, hug me up. Because you're fat till you buff, hug me up. Because you're nice enough, hug me up. Because you're property enough, hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk. Take her from country and she me set up. Send her from the street looking conspicuous. Kiss me neck back, me get me bed bust. As me turn my back a bag a man want the work silly today. Him lick it down first. The boy I really lick it down fit a suck. When my time come, she a fight and a fuss. I tap up me fi carry a restaurant first. Hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk, hug me up.
Listen how you ride rhythm.
It's and ditch, that's how me foot broke. Lucky me no walk with Kotch. I go and start move smart. I move serious. I don't want to move them fi look suspicious. Car remember how you put on me walk, but hug me up. Y'all don't give me the bed walk. Pull it up again, pull it up again, pull it up again.
I have to tell you, it takes incredible strength to stop your music, especially 90s. What? 90s Fragga? 90s Fragga.
Yes, sir.
Come to our podcast show, and it's always a great joy to have Fragga Ranks, the big man on the show, you know?
Yes, sir. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Sharon, introduce yourself, girl.
Yes, sir. Well, Fragga Ranks. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. You wake us up this morning.
Thank you so much, Miss Mango. I'm here. And at your service.
Yeah, we're at your service.
service. He's so humble as well. Fragga Ranks, my name is Sharon Mango, of course, but I will tell you, I am a fan. That was always, that last track was always a favorite of mine. Love that track. Hour long, we put it back to back. And you know what, 10 Star 2, you see that track right there? Coming like it just come out, you know.
Yeah.
That track could release and still have an impact.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
welcome, sir. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. We are so honored to have you here.
Yes, myself is honored to be in your presence as well, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, Fragga, I have to say this show is about giving people their stripes. It's about, recognizing who's done what. It's all about, us really recording your journey so that long when we are gone, people will have something to look back on and say, Fragga really did something on the industry, you know what I mean? You're something I've rated for a long time. I'm not just saying that because you're coming on this platform. And I think we don't say that enough. Enough times I think we wait too long till a person passes away before we even do a little salute, to an individual. So we're saying that, we're giving you your stripes today. We want to listen to your journey from where it began, from where it came from to where it is today. You know what I mean? So we're going to take you back, way back.
Way back.
Yes.
From to your earliest memory. So take me back to your earliest memory. Where did it begin? What passed?
Well, it all begins when my grandmother told me that, when I was like about 5 years of age, she told me that whenever she eating the tea, I used to dance to the sounds that make from the spoon and the cup.
Right.
So I know from then on until this moment in time, I had a divine manifestation in terms of the musical journey. So I think begins when I was normally a kid who get myself intact where, all of the old abandoned instruments and sounds and metals is concerned, we always utilize them to make various sounds. So I would normally sit at the gate and beat them. I would normally have an audience, by an hour or two after I been there playing the upcaps, the enamel shimmy, the bar and all of them type of things.
Yeah.
So we try to get different frequency, different sounds from different, metals and even wood surfaces.
Yeah.
I mean, would normally come along. I have this this specific individual by the name of Eddie Ruff, who always give me positive encouragement, like saying, "Oh, you're gonna be a drummer." When that, my direction would be towards the vocal aspects of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, by joining and doing stuff like that, I gradually get introduced to friends and friends and friends. And then we meet this dude named John, God rest his soul, he passed on God now. And thing, and he introduced me to a guy named Bob, we call him Bobby, from he had a group, a few blocks away from where I was residing and stuff like that. So
right, we're going to come to that, but in the meantime, I want to just stick to your earliest memory with home life, school life. What did you want to become when you were in high school? Let's stick with that first.
Because I mean, as a inner city youth coming up without any mama or any dad, I never met my mother, none at all, not even a picture survived. I only can remember knowing my dad, like having a conversation even once in my life. You know what I mean? So, that was just a rough experience, but also I use it as fuel to mold me and keep me in a positive direction. Now, we could utilize that same energy to use as an excuse or a bypass to be a negative person. But from the age I realized that life is precious, life is important. So I try to stay fast and stay positive in an upward direction, even though I'm in a very hostile and intense environment, which is the western Kingstons of Jamaica, you know what I mean? Like in the city, and I saw a whole heap of friends and associates pass by making the wrong choices, going the wrong direction, you know what I mean? Get involved in crime and violence and stuff like that. So I said, well, then I'm not going that direction. I'm going to just try to, see where my talents take me. You know what I mean? So within that journey, it was just a rough time, visiting the studio, get a lot of turned down, a lot of disappointments and stuff like that. So I was to get over all of them obstacles.
So what did you really want to
Mhm.
become though in life? What was in your mind to what did you want to achieve?
Well, to me, I just really want to achieve the highest of my ability in terms of what my ability grant me, you know what I mean? And the most as well. So I always think that I would like to be like a mechanic, somebody who like fix things and stuff like that, because I'm always good at my hands in terms of fixing things. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, just like an underman attitude from a tender age. But then that never worked out, so I still pursue the music, with great enthusiasm and everything. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's just a lot of disappointment. But I
Right.
steadfast to the direction, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you finish high school. What happens next to Fragga Ranks?
No, I never even finish high school. I leave school at a tender age. I leave school at the age of like about 13, because
Okay.
of budgetary constraint, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as you know, me never have any mama or any dad, so
Mm-hmm.
me I was like, spend most of the time with my grandmother,
Right.
in the process of learning the trade, which is to say a mechanic. And in
Right.
the process of doing, you know what I mean, whenever I get a little money and stuff like that, but I
Mm-hmm.
normally put on some, like, I used to get $15 a week. I put on, I give my grandmother $10 for herself. I
Mm-hmm.
utilize the 5 to go back and, you know what I mean, keep the cycle alive.
Right.
So
Okay.
it was just a rough journey. But
Right.
that's why I said a rough pass and you utilize it as fuel. You
So
know what I
so
mean?
from
As
your
my
fro-
music.
so from your earliest memory, when did things start to happen for you?
Well,
And
when I
it
met this
doesn't
guy
really
called
have to
John that I
be.
was telling you earlier about,
It
John,
doesn't have to be
John
music though.
Bobby now introduced me to Bloodfire Posse, which is Danny Brownie and
Blackfire. Okay.
Danny Brownie Scatter and Benji and a couple other guys. You know what I mean? So being there and stuff like that, it was just like an intense experience going at the studio every day. Until one day I was there when Daddy Lizard, Flower Gun, and I think Papa sounded voice like 2 days before. And I never forgot. It was one of them helpers quarters. So within that moment of time, there wasn't any padding inside of the windows or anything like that. So you could hear most of the conversation taking place inside. And I remember Danny Brown and Lizard, you know that guy outside? Because I was going there for days, for weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was finally one day saying, "I'll give me a chance." But he asked Lizard as a recommendation. And Lizard said, "Yeah, man, bad DJ." Big up Daddy Lizard for that. And the rest was history. That's when I did Hug Me Up. But before that, I did a
So
song.
before that, were you always DJing then? So
Yeah. I did a song long before that. My first song was 1986.
okay.
Yeah. A
Right.
song called Hustling at the Key.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So somebody saw your talent and wanted to give you a chance.
Yeah.
Okay. And that first memory that you have of that, what year was that?
That was 1990.
1990. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how did share a little bit of Hustling is the Key? Can we never know about that one?
I said, hustling it are the key, it are the key, it are the key, hustling it are the key for run any country. Youth man nowadays, you better find some hustling. No sit down on no corner and the loaf thing. We're not afraid of bigger food. Leng and Amin. We don't see them, the police, them a bank. You know what I mean? Them a top ranking, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. It's just always a positive message to guide the youth them in the right direction and stuff like that. Because when you know you're coming from an unfortunate circumstance, such as mine, and then you have a different mindset in terms of what you really want to accomplish and the direction you choose to go, you always want to be an inspiration to others that never get the opportunity, such as that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was my whole motivation. Just staying positive.
Right.
Circumstances.
I'm not sure if you caught all that, Sharon Mango, because I know your camera was off, but we were talking quite a bit about his earlier upbringing, where he shares with us that he never really did finish school.
Yeah,
And as he
that's all I
journeyed
heard
through
on.
the years, he used to DJ, and he got his
Mm-hmm.
first break.
I heard that.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't want to be the only one speaking, so chime in.
Well, no, of course. Thank you so much, friend.
Yes.
So, Fragga Ranks, I know the upbringing was tough, but you did
Yes.
mention your grandmother. What inspiration was your grandmother to you? Because you remember growing up with her, like how was your grandmother contributed?
Well, my grandmother inspiration was the windows of my mom. The eyes, she was the eyes and the windows of my mom's soul, you know what I mean? I utilized her presence to get an idea what my mom would be like, being as my mom is her child, you know what I mean? So that was the main inspiration for my grandmother. And she always, keep me in a religious concept in terms of taking me to the church, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, teaching me all of the virtues and, the right principles of life. Yeah.
And that's the reason I ask this, because you can tell you as an individual, as much as you've been through all you've been through, you're very humble. I feel that had to come from somewhere. So grandmother definitely was an inspiration to you. She took you to church, right? She instilled all your morals and principles in that manner, keep you positive. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see about you. Could see, you could 100% read that on you. You're just a particular type of individual. And again, something you said which was powerful is like you could have used your unfortunate circumstance by not knowing your mom and your dad, right?
Yes.
And for it to be negative and that you're owed this and you should be this, but you did not. I feel like your grandmother played a big part in your life. You know what I mean?
That's very true. That's very true.
Right.
That's
so I can, you can see it. You just, you exude that presence. So it's a beautiful thing. As hard as it was for you, you still maintained who you are. You know what I mean? Coming through the ranks. Yes, you didn't finish school. That's fine. But hustling is a big part of the game too, which is what you did. So
yes,
I heard the part where you said, you were turned down. I guess you went to check out different people, work with different people, and they didn't accept you, maybe didn't think you were good enough at that time. You know what I mean? You got turned down doing, right? Is that correct?
Well, I think most of it stems from the fact that I understand that the music industry contains a lot of ignorance and ego. You know what I mean? And ignorance is the base fundamental of everything that is negative. So by identifying such ignorance, I realized from a tender age that I had to have a different approach. And my approach was like being more laid back, being more penitent, observant. And music is always this kind of chauvinistic vibe where people like display this high energy and stuff like that. And I always know that the hidden talent is a treasure of all things. So I normally, just always go through a phase on a stage where I regenerate, you know what I mean, and observe. And, because the approach was so unorthodox, people overlooked me several times. You know what I mean? Because I was the loudest in the pack. But then when I open my mouth, it's a different thing. It's always the element of surprise, So I keep it like that.
Always. Always.
And then to be honest with you as well, I think all of that had was to do with time and timing, because I had was to develop to a greater extent so I can have all of the different skills and methods to sustain a longevity within the music industry. And you can't do that without proper development. You know what I mean? So I had was to take things step by step and stage by stage. So I use all of the negative energy as a building block. To launch me to this level now, this present moment. So we can have a conversation like this.
Wow. So what was your first experience? Let me say this. What was your first experience being on stage or what did you participate in that propelled you to think, you know what, I'm gonna take this to the next level, you know? Like what happened? Like where were you? What really set it off?
In terms of like my first performance, like
For first performance, like when you, as a young man, right?
yeah.
So you didn't school, you were hustling. Like what was your first real experience where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna move forward with this music thing, you know? Like what was that moment? Or when was that moment?
First moment stem from me being in my community and being a participant in whenever them like any community gathering, you know, community shows and performances and stuff like that. And I would enter, and the reception was so overwhelming. You know what I mean? So that was a motivation and a motivating factor for me. You know, like, yo, something is here. Because most of the people don't have any reason to be biased. You know, there are people who just keep it straightforward.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
If I didn't have the talent, they would let me know that as well. So
Well,
I guess that was the first time going on stage in my community, 85 Redditsville, Kingston, Jamaica.
And how old were you?
Was like about 12. Yeah. I was playing the old pans and the chimneys and all of them type of thing from like about age 5 coming up to like that moment in time. Because my first recording, I did that at the age of 30 in 1986. Yeah.
13. Wait, I just thought, wait, 13? Really? Okay.
Yeah. But because of the content, and, you know what I mean, I think I was so much earlier than my time. That's just my analysis. You know what I mean? Because I mean,
yeah, it
back in those times, the things that I was saying was so over the head in terms of being advanced. You know, and I could see for these things that now just transpiring in this current moment and dispensation. I saw all of this like 20, 30 years ago. So some of the times I'm feeling like I'm recycling, I'm repeating myself over and over. You know?
That's a blessing, though. That's a blessing. That's a blessing for you. Because like I said, to look at you, I don't know, for me, and that's just because I am that person. You can read who you are. But total, you have a piece about you. You know what I mean? You have a certain piece about you and within you, and it just exudes because you're very humble. Very humble in you just are. And I just feel like, as you said, you foresaw all what's happening now for yourself at age 12, 13 years old. Yeah, you were blessed.
Yes.
So really and truly, it's like you had to hustle to survive, right? At such an early age.
You know, various things, you know, in terms of like you know, going in different environments and stuff like that. At one point in time, we used to like take rubbish from people's yard to, you know what I mean, the dump, you know, pick mangoes, you know, any little thing we can do in a legal manner. So we can survive without going into the jail system and stuff like that. We did it. You know, and had a rough life because we don't know mother, no father, being on the streets at a tender age. You know what I mean? I have to fend for myself because, as you know, there was not a solid support system. And I was to take care of my grandmother as well because she reached at that age where she was getting ill and, you know what I mean, senile and stuff like that. So I had was to be her eyes, her foot, her ears, everything, you know, at a tender age. So I think it molded me and give me this kind of integrity and a discipline of self that I can understand life for what it is. You know, so them say life, throw out your lemon, you make lemonade. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person who complains, regardless of how tragic the situation might become. You know what I mean? I try to find a way out in an hopeful and a positive way. You know what I mean? So that's it.
Well, first and foremost, I have to applaud you for that part of your journey where, you know, especially I look at my daughter at 12 years old and you have to guide her and, you know, and you see her playing with her friends and doing what kids do. But for you, it was a different kind of journey. You know what I mean? It's more like not really having a childhood, pretty much, you know, and trying to make something of yourself so that you can survive. And I try to paint that picture in my head of your journey because I look at how far you've come and I look in amazement. I'm like, you know, for all you went through at such a young age and still survive and come out diligently, where you have your own family right now, you know what I mean? I mean, I've got to applaud you for that part of your journey. So, you know, I really do commend you on that. So, now, how did you just remind me how you got discovered?
Well, it comes from the same dude called John. When he introduced me to Bobby from a group called Ultra Culture, and I met Danny Brownie. And then Danny Brownie introduced me to Robbie Shakespeare. And that's Robbie Shakespeare is really the muscle behind Hug Me Up. He's the producer. Danny Brownie just the guy who made the beat. Record us and mix and master the songs. But Robbie Shakespeare was the real producer behind the song.
Right.
Here I met Robbie, and you know, from doing that song, I did a song with Blood Fire, and from there on.
How did he discover you? How did he notice you amongst many? What was it about you that he said, "Hey, come and do something"?
Who, Danny?
Yeah,
Danny?
yeah.
Well, because I was the type of person who was very consistent. So Danny was always at the studio because the studio was at his mom's house. And he really used the helper's quarters to be the studio. So in the studio, within the times we used the studio, the helper wasn't there. And then in the afternoon when she come, we was to leave out of the studio because it was an active living space as well.
Right.
You know, but him find a way to, you know what I mean? Make the adjustments and set up the studio so we'd be at the studio and stuff like that. So me being there every day, him like start questioning himself and say, who is this little guy outside? Every day I come and see him under the mango tree. Sometimes, to be honest, I never eat the whole day. But I look on the reality and say, well, then this is still a better opportunity if it works out than I staying in the ghetto, getting caught up and get killed or end up in the jail, you know what I mean? Because I never have any mother or any father to come and vindicate for me when I get in any trouble. So I have to keep myself totally from trouble.
Right.
So I use all of them moments just to go to the studio and sit around. And that's why I tell Lizard, and Lizard give me a good word of recommendation, and the rest was history.
Well, I before we go any further, let me just bless up everyone who is in the chat room or listening to this conversation. Our guest is Fragga Ranks. He's been in the industry for many years. He's a gentleman whom I really respect highly. I want to come back to what he was saying, you know, about Danny Brown, because we're talking about Danny Brown. If I remember correctly, he had a studio called Main Street.
Yes, but before with them times it was one at a time. It was called one at a time because it was so small and compact. You know what I mean? But after Hug Me Up did well, everything changes, and then I mean, they move over to the next side. I think they buy a bigger property and then expand and then change the name and the brand to Main Street.
Right.
So there's where you find the Buccaneer, the General Degree, the Archive, Mad Andrew, and all of them guys come after, Red Rat and all of them guys. But Fragga was the first.
Right.
I was the one who put Mainstream on the map. You know that from Hug Me Up.
Yeah.
Hug Me Up did
that tune.
I didn't get any flowers or
the reason why
it's all good.
The reason why why you stood out. Okay, let me just take it back. There were two people in the 90s that stood out to me, yeah?
Yes.
One was yourself, and the other one was a guy called Don Ute. Because Don Ute had a powerful voice, and you had that powerful voice. I used to think, where did these guys get this kind of energy from? Because, you know, when you came with that tune, Hug Me Up, and the way you sit on the rhythm, and man, that was just dynamic back then.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it, from them times, I was one of the first artists who never write a line. All of them songs they hear me just go inside the studio and do it like that. Because the sufferation was so intense.
Top business?
Pardon me?
Top business? Freestyle?
95% of my songs, me just go in the studio and sing them and come out.
Rah.
And it no less than 15 minutes. no matter how complex it might sound.
How we I say. So
Wow.
how Hug Me Up come about?
Just from the inspiration of the beat. Because I never normally have a specific song in mind when I'm going to record. I just go and I come to the vibe as Empress Mango said. If the energy is right and you can read the vibe, you can read the room, you know what I mean? You get a certain, you get a certain essence from the room. So when I get a certain kind of essence, I utilize it and it puts me in a state of mind that it's hard to explain with words. And then like I go in a different zone. And everything just happen magically. You know what I mean? Because I guess whenever you make yourself rounded in terms of you get as much information as possible and you keep it in a certain category, it's hard for you to go wrong. All you have to do is open your mouth, stay on the subject matter, and keep everything right grammars, right context, and you're good to go. But it might sound simple me explaining it like that because it's a process that I master over the years. To somebody else, it might sound, complex and crazy, but that's just my method to the madness.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, after Hug Me Up, how did that particular track do for you at the time? Because I know in the UK it was huge.
It did well. 9.5 weeks at #1.
9.5 weeks.
9.5 weeks.
In the Black
that song was the
Black
boom.
charts.
Wow.
Black Echo. Yeah.
It never did anything for me financially, to be honest with you. But
That was
going to
be my next question. That was going to be my next question. Tell me why. Break it down for me.
I can't even start because I don't even know where to start. Because no one says anything to me, and that's what I'm saying is because at that moment in time, I was so passionate about the music that the money never mattered. Because to me, anything better than where I'm coming from. So I was just glad to get the opportunity to come out of the ghetto. You know what I mean? Not that it took me from the ghetto, but it took my state of mind from the ghetto.
Right.
Being hopeless.
Right.
So I'm saying?
There's two ways I'm looking at this because I've heard this story so many times, but I'm just picking your brain as to where you were mentally, right? Now, you're coming from a place of hardship, right?
Yeah.
You're praying that things work out for you. It's a blessing that even Daddy Lizard could say what he said on your behalf and get you in through the door for you to do what you're doing. So I totally get it, right? So now they're interested in you. You do your first, your second tune. And one of the songs you did with really broke barriers for me was Hug Me Up, right? Now, your voice in these songs, did at any point did they say, hey, we want to give you a contract? Was that mentioned to you? Did you mention it? Not mention?
Nothing. Because at that age I was so immature and lack of the understanding how the business.
Remind me how old you was at that time with Hug Me Up.
I was about 16, 17.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I never have any understanding of the business. And that's what I'm saying. The opportunity that presented itself that I could even get in a studio at that moment in time was like priceless for me, other than looking at the business aspect. Things so I can get long-term royalties and whatever. I was looking at that, to be honest with you. And I was also ignorant about that aspect of the business as well. I'm keeping it real. You know what I mean? So I expected the people in control was to do better, but they didn't. And I still forgive them. Because at the end of the day,
let's call a spade a spade. When you look back now, when you look back now, because these are the things that really jar my DNA, and when you look back now at the same people who got you into the studio, they saw your tune doing very, very well, right? You're getting all the accolades. Like I say, in the UK, you are blowing up like I don't know what, right? Now, when you look back now, back then, at the time when these guys had you in the studio, right? Tell me something. Do you think that they selectively or deliberately chose not to mention the business side of things to you?
It's hard to
Because that
say,
would have been one of the most perfect things to do. Like, listen, your tuna blow up. It's time to get you to sign a contract because you're going to hit it big. Nothing like that.
Nothing like that ever mentioned. And I guess because I had a unique approach and a unique message in terms of concept and everything, it's like it was very hard for them to even understand me because my approach was so unorthodox. Because when everybody else, what I'm telling you, excited, I'm like this. And it's not that I'm trying to be like that. I'm that naturally. So they couldn't understand my personality, if you understand what I'm saying. So I think that has as well play a role. And I'm not giving them a scapegoat.
Okay.
I'm just trying to look at it as rational as possible.
At any
You know what I
time,
mean? And unbiased as possible.
let me ask you this. At any time, did you feel intimidated?
No. No, I never feel intimidated, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But I always feel misrepresented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hug Me Up was a big tune, and anyway, I have my faults. I'll keep that to myself for now. But Hug Me Up blows up. When did you realize Hug Me Up blew up globally?
About 2 years, nearly 2 years after.
2 years after?
Yeah, it was like a secret. One day I was listening to the radio with this guy called Barrington, the boogeyman, and he used to have a collaboration with him and Radigan, David Radigan.
Right.
And Barrington was like, which song is the biggest song now on the UK charts, the Black Echo charts? And it was like, a song called Hug Me Up, like for weeks now, with this guy named Fragga Ranks. I was like, man, I almost have an heart attack at the age of like 17. I couldn't believe it because all of them people who I'm saying that we did the song with and everything know about it, and nobody tell me anything. I was hearing it on the radio. You know what I mean? And after hearing it on the radio and approach them, it never make any difference. You know, nobody ever sought me out anyway and so well then. As a matter of fact, I was living in a house without any roof at that time. I was to put plastic on top of the house because there was no roof.
Okay, so okay, paint another picture for me, right? You get into the studio, you're now voicing all this music, you voice Hug Me Up and various other songs, right? How were you surviving from day to day to get into the studio in the first place?
Well, the one of the most fortunate aspect of everything is that the studio was like about 10 blocks away from where I'm living. So it wasn't within walking distance. So I could walk to the studio. And you had a mango tree in the studio, over the studio yard. So that was like my dinner, my lunch, and everything. You know what I mean? Some of us used to just go over there from I can eat a mango or two, I'm good to go. My whole focus was just to keep on recording. Because I know if I follow how I'm feeling, then it's gonna break me. And if it break me, then this moment wouldn't be a possibility. So I was just continue. I never have any choice. I was choiceless. I was just continue. Even though I go through a lot of stress, frustration, anxiety, whatever it might be, but just have to stay focused.
Oh, yeah.
And I never really have a team of people around, you know what I mean? Up to this day, I never have a management. From all of them time till now, I've never have a manager.
Damn.
Because I don't want a manager. It's just that most people, when them come around and identify the type of mindset me have, it becomes a turn off. I don't know why. Because I'm not a negative, respectful type of person. I'm just a person about doing things the right way. Because then it prevents us from doing it again. You know what I'm saying? So you can be more productive with time.
Yeah.
And that to me is like the biggest scare for most people nowadays, because I guess them like ignorance. But ignorance is bliss, it cannot sustain. So why should I keep or take a person and exploit them because they're ignorant and don't help them to sustain longevity? It's not profitable. You're going to fail. And if you find a person who have a certain type of talent and you don't nurture that talent and put it in the right direction, it does no benefit to the community, the environment, to you or the next person or anybody who involved in the process. Everything just become a waste. You know, some of us can't understand why they couldn't have a different approach to how them administrate things. You know what I mean? It's just like everybody just in this crab in a barrel mentality and take down and competition, and yeah, it healthy to a certain extent. Me no compete, me cooperate. There's a difference. You understand? You know,
Wait,
I don't know, man. It's just
we have some people in the audience who are listening right now, like Salma is saying, some man do not want to see other man rise, so they will throw blessing blockers in one's path to hinder one's growth. However, the Most High sees us all through through and makes it clear that who is for you and what is for you will be for you. You know, and that is true.
give thanks to the strength.
That is very, very true. You know, I kind of, the reasons why I ask you this question is because I know it's happened to so many. I pretty much know the answer to everything you're going to say even before you said it. You know what I mean? And it's one of the reasons why I've chosen to put a show together, a big show where we're going to have a heart-to-heart about solutions, no longer talking about the issues, because I think we've spoken about the issues for so many years. And because of what especially you've been through personally and many others, you know, I think it's time for us to talk about solutions to this issue. Otherwise, you know, I don't think we're going to have anything left for ourselves. There were people like you who put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. When we talk about these shows that I'm doing, it's because of people like you, of what you've been through. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much
Because
for the
it
contribution.
really doesn't make
support,
sense.
you know?
So I know they say in the industry, which is another demonic thing they did, was they say you can only go back as far as 6 years in order to collect what is rightfully yours. I guess yours are stretched back further than 6 years. So
yeah,
that's like fighting a lost cause, right?
To prove it, can I say something? To prove how right you are, the first show I did in I don't know if you see any footage of the first show I did in Birmingham, the Hummingbird. I think it's online now and it's on my page and stuff like that. But anyhow, it took me 30 years to get that footage.
Imagine.
30 years for me to see that footage. I just see that footage like a few months ago after doing it for over 30 years.
They demonically put. Go ahead, my brother.
Oh, so sometimes I don't really even question my destiny anymore. I just stay active, stay focused, because I know that some supreme forces is in control. You know what I mean? As I know things go, some of the times not even words can explain the process and why it had to took that turn. You know what I mean?
That question.
Sharon, if you leave the mic, you're not gonna talk at all. So I have to. But it's important to have these discussions, Sharon. You know that.
It's important. It's important for. This is why we do what we do, because it's thought provoking, number one, and it's teaching moments for all. Because when we played in the beginning, before we even got started, we played that song. And that song, just like I said, because I'm going to repeat myself again, that song, if you wanted to re-release that song, you could re-release that song. It's a wicked tune. The mindset, and you were...
I did it. It's on my current EP called Timeless. I did it. I re-released it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did a
16 years old.
remix, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Had to. Because that's a song like that, see, but that's when you make quality work, and you were 16 years old, is that correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
To listen to a voice like that, you would never know that's coming out of a 16-year-old, still maturing, I think, and I'm hoping that you understand who you are. You are a particular individual and you say to yourself, certain things come to you in ways you're like, I don't even know how that happened, you know, but you are so blessed and so chosen. You are chosen to do certain things, no matter how long it would take for you to get there. You still have inside of you to do things the right way. I'm assuming now that you have certain people around you, not good people around you, who's, you know, continuously giving you the guidance. Although I think destiny has mapped your path. Destiny has mapped your path a certain way, but the way for you is straight and honest, no matter what obstacles you came through. So now I say all of that to say, you do have some good people around you, but when did you know, or when did you acquire the knowledge about, in the business aspect, because you didn't have management then, when did you acquire that knowledge? When did you realize, like, why me not see nothing, you know, me not see no money, me not know how this go. Me have to find out. When was that moment?
I discovered that after I did the song for Sonic Sound, Woman, that went #2 on the same Black Echo charts, and I think it did stay #2 for like about 2 months, and then Buju knock it down with Boom Bye Bye, because Buju was more prolific in terms of, you know, having a camp and, you know what I mean, more consistent with songs coming out and stuff like that. I was on the struggle, get a song here and there, you know what I mean, fighting the political battles of the music industry, which is a battlefield. So, you know what I mean? So from them times, I started to identify, so wait, something is wrong. Because I'm doing this type of music and this type of work and I don't have anything to show. You know what I mean? Like, not even the material trappings, such as a car or a house or some jewelry, but I don't have any kind of foundation. I don't even have a house. You know what I mean? I don't even have any long-term foundation that I could say, well, then I have a business, so I could rock back on the business if music gets slow or whatever. There was no like buffer zone for me. You know? So I realized that something is wrong. But then, because of budgetary constraint, never have the support system to get certain things done, there was no options for me to come out of that circumstances at the moment, you know what I mean? I was to still keep on recording for the same exploiters. And that was just a method of mine in order to keep my sanity and keep the creative juice flowing. Because them say if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So me, I was to just keep on recording and stuff like that. And you know what I mean? You know, just putting in work, even though I'm not getting a thing. Because them never giving me no shows. After me do the shows in Europe, which was a successful tour, when we come back to Jamaica, no major show, no concert, no nothing. Them just shut me down totally. Ask me why I can't tell it up to this day. You know what I mean? We just know some, you know, the political oppression was so monolithic that it's beyond explanation. Because I voiced over 500 duets. Name artists may have songs with them. Gregory Isaac, Barry Salmon, Freddie McGregor, Jack Radix, Cynthia Slash. I can't even remember names.
Mighty Diamonds.
Not only Dennis Brown I don't have any song with. I'm going to say. But for most of the era, Mighty Diamonds, we even have songs with Mighty Diamonds were unreleased. Songs with Freddie McGregor were still unreleased. Songs with Jack Radix were still unreleased.
Cam Hall, Junior Reid.
Goes on. Over 500 duets. Do the maths. No one in the music ever done them type of works. You can go on YouTube, you might find a fraction, which is might be a couple hundred. Some of them come over there, remember them because we did them so long ago. But that's the fact. Ask me why I can't tell. That's the fact. Because them keep coming back for me for doing more work and more work and more work. And the more work I put in, and the more them suppress me. So it's like some of the times I can't make the equation in terms of what logical sense this makes. You know what I mean? Because in every transaction, there's a split. So if me get 50 and you get 50, we walk away equal. But some of the times, one will get 1, much less 50. but still want to utilize my talent. So how that makes sense? How that even work? How that logical? Always there is any logic to that. So some of the times, being frustrated, but just kind of stay away and stay in isolation and observe. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense. You know, I can't make them stress me out. I will never make them stress me. You know what I mean? Some of the stay vibrant. Right now, me and my family are her. My baby mom, she do the recording, she mix my master, shoot the videos, edit and everything. And my son, who is just 15 now, he make all of them new beats here and got over 300 beats. I used to remember saying to her, yo, sometimes the people them who might be to help you, might be them never existed, not knowing that me have to create my one help.
Yeah.
My one help. So me had was to get my son, watch him grow, nurture him, and now him becomes my team. So you see the process, how much faith me have to exude, because this is another 15 years again out of my life. In order before I could get him to this level of being current.
Yeah. What spurred you on? What spurred you to keep going forward?
The love we have for humanity. Because I really did do the music for the upliftment of humanity. I never did do it for myself, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Because I always have this outlook on life. If I, who have a social responsibility, do not uphold my responsibility, then I make a dangerous environment. And me have to live in the environment as well. My kids have to live in the environment. So me don't want to contribute to an environment that is total hostility, negativity, death, destruction. So it was just the message, the music, the passion. Just have so much passion and love for the music that it keep me going. Because when people like you come and people like Sharon come and these kind of motivation, give me the incentive and the drive to be consistent. Yeah. Because if it was just the money alone, I quit long time culture. We don't get $1. 9.5 weeks are number one, they make millions. I don't see $1. Straight. Anybody think I lie me, tell them if you contest it. I don't see $1. And that never break me.
I really am not surprised. I mean, there's people who date back further than yourself that I've had these conversations with who, they've, recorded monumental albums and they never received a dime. It really, to me, is like they preyed on your lack of knowledge, ignorance, whatever it was, they preyed on that. And I do believe along with all that comes, them using the forces of intimidation in order to keep you from, because, if you do decide, and this is just my feeling, to say, listen, welcome to all this money I did with Hug Me Up, they're going to make you feel very uncomfortable.
Most naturally. And it can lead to further situation of even end up and lose my life.
Precisely.
It can get real political. So this is why I overlook the money. Because as we said, my mission was the money, my mission was the message. You know what I mean? Because remember, whatever you put out is what you get back. So if you never put out positivity and keep it consistent, this moment couldn't be a possibility. Because I'm not a rich artist. I'm not the most successful artist.
And you should be.
Brilliant,
and you should be.
But
the 90s had your name on it.
No dispute. But I'm just saying, with even all of that, that wasn't a factor to me. Like, oh, me have a #1 song, it make me different. But it was always around all of the people what we just struggle with over the years. All of the youth, them and them used to pick up buckle in the dance hall. Go from people mango tree just to survive, carry out the garbage from people house just to survive. Them was the same people me around all of them times. I just always consider myself more fortunate because I have the opportunity to be heard by many. But the struggle was the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always see me and them as total equal. I never see myself above them or anyone for the most part.
Sharon Mango, do me a favor. Please read Mindful 13's message in the audience there, please, for me.
Who's that?
Last piece of message. Mightyful 13. He wrote a message.
Multiple 13. Okay. Hold on there. Go up. It's not even around me. Come on now.
The last one. The very last one. You can't say it? Okay.
There's the practitioners in the past.
Let me see.
Is it the practitioners in the past? Because that's where it stops for me.
Okay, so hold on. Because I want to read it because it's very important. So I just want to read it. So bear with me. Let me just clean off the out. Because my eyes them foggy lately. Cataract and thing. So it says it was an unfortunate business occurrence that has evaded most of the practitioners in the past because they were ignorant of the legacy that
the legality.
Oh, is it legality?
Legality that comes with music.
Okay.
The few who did sell or gave away their rights for a piece of bread.
There you go.
And that's real talk though.
So 90s had your name on it. You didn't receive a penny. You're loving what you're doing. Where do you head next after the 90s era in time? Because like I say, 90s definitely had your name. As far as I'm concerned, you should be living large, larger than large. You're second to none. Where is your headspace now as you go into the 2000s?
Well, I'm currently recording and putting out songs, you know what I mean? And I always have different ideas in terms of like, you know, artistic projects and so, you know, things that I can like embark upon in terms of the future and stuff like that. I know I'm working with my family team, put me in a better space. So, you know, like, we have told a couple hundred songs, you know, the catalog, you know, for myself and, you know, we just still a record, as I'm telling you, we have a new video coming out soon. And but just stay focused and stay relevant and try to reinvent myself every time in terms of keeping up to the sound and, you know, the current flow and the current vibration until, as the Empress said, the Most High give me the glory. Because, you know, what is to be must have to be. So that's why I just consist. That's the only, you know, outlook.
Well, I think in the year, I think it may have been 2000 and maybe 13. I forget when it was. Anyway, there was this brilliant song which was produced by Mightyful 13, which was on the Mighty in Battle Rhythm, which was a collaboration with you and E-Commerce. And that changed things for you again, you know, because that was a smashing single. I'm just going to play a few bars from that particular single. Hold on, let me just play that 1 second. Let me see.
You're in tune to SPRB Radio, the station with integrity. Remember me tell you, Light Brown giving full endorsement to the team. See? To SPRB Radio, and I make a kick it to it. Let it go.
E-commerce. Switching lanes. That's what life is all about. Tell me, my son. Maturity. Okay. New lines. I'm living a new life. Me and me kids and my wife. New life. I'm living a new life. Bank account right. New life. I'm living a new life. With a better insight. New life. I'm living a new life. Watch this. As a one green go, used to dip on the battlefield. It's a struggle to survive, man of the keep it real. Me get a wake up call, me dash with the steel. Facing X amount of years, me bust the appeal. Things I used to do, I do them no more. The places I used to go, I go there no more. Pull it up again, pull it up again,
Yep.
pull it up again.
How did that tune there come about? Because apparently you had something to do with that.
Yeah, well, you know, Fitzroy Francis, aka Mightyful 13, good friend of mine, you know. I met him through another virgin called Xanadu, and from there on, me and him have this musical click, so we always link up with each other and thing, you know. Sometimes we on the phone, sometimes we see each other personal, and him tell me, so well, then him have the interest for the some production, you know what I mean? So, you know, we sit down and we brainstorm, come up with a name, you know, the Mightyful 13, and you know, I give him a couple of insight and give me a couple of directives in terms of the direction where I'm going to choose and stuff like that. I'm so well, then good vibe. You know, being as me and Ika Mouse have a vibe together and things like that. I link him and say, well, then here, me have a project I'm going to do for my virgin. And, you know, being as we have a big name and stuff like that, it would help enhance the whole production and stuff like that. So that's how we come about doing that.
Brilliant,
You know what
brilliant.
I mean? And with the combination, and everything was recorded in my studio because, as I said, me and Mightyful 13, we have a good connection and stuff like that. So we always have to do a lot of work together and so forth. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
right. We have Mightyful 13 here as well. Let me just bring Mightyful 13, if you would unmute for me, brother. So we can have a conversation about that particular production. I'm not too sure if he can hear me right now. Mightyful 13, unmute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, greetings, 10-star General.
Greetings, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Enough love and respect, man. Yeah, big up Fragga Ranks, you know. The girl,
Yes,
them,
big papa.
Dagger Dan, you know. The great
Dagger
Dagger
Dan.
Dan.
Yeah, we like
Butter
that.
done.
Better than.
Talk to me about your memory, Fitzroy, about that production there and why you and him did that particular tune. What is your memory?
Well, as I show you, said that the way I raised my show, said when I run come America 2009, I run up the music, you know, because we have been in the business of our conversation with me, I got reason more in depth, but sometimes, you know, come from White House and we there on all the great stems. Lucky Stems, the Black Crew, the whole nine, you know. But when you start at your own youth and realize you have certain responsibility where you know want really, because my mother is a woman where and father, my grandmother and father, very independent, have them own economics, you know, them and whenever I go come hungry, homeless, and lot of things which Fragga talk about, we is like the opposite of that totally, because we have everything as a youth. So my mother was rich, our father was rich, but my mother and father always have them independence in them and them have their own economics, them sell food, got the coronation market. So you know, so you don't know they're on the music and it reach a point and I have my son and you know say me no want because me not a man will go as through because we're not artists. We more come to the business through the intellectual property, business of music, the theory of music. You know, so I come in America now and you know run my family and thing and you know Struck Fender link me and say boy Rocky me have a thing I have a video where I want to do and you know him link me with Xanadu and then Xanadu link me with Fragga. Fragga that man used to come check me and Fragga reason and you know we start reason about the music and Fragga say Rocky because he's a youth and knowledgeable about the music you know. I'm not too interested in the music business again. I said, no, man, you would like you for come to the business, and you know. So, as long story short, one day Xanadu walk come to me and say, you know, so never, you know, so God give me a tune, name trading, I must sing it. And I start singing, so I must stop, I start write. Because I'm a man, I'm a writer. I like write the lyrics, I like the dramatization, past and present tense, past participle, the whole thing. Because you know we're high school youth. Like our thing, right? So, link Fragga, you know, Fragga say, yeah, man, come in the raw moon and Fragga organize everything. Fragga organize everything. And link Danny Marshall, Danny Axman, a virgin named Carl Marchetti, and as I said, the rest is history. But that particular song with Fragga, it was Fragga idea because, as I said, it's one time I ever produced a tune, which is from 1991. Which Andrew B. So it's not like me really interested as I can never even see myself as a producer. I don't like producing.
Right.
Like that. So when Fragga said, no man, Rocket, I really you can put some more artists on it and you know. And you know, I introduced Cynthia to them as much as I'm a brethren,
Yeah.
Fragga was the man who fueled the idea for me.
Right.
I mean, I like work with various artists, you know.
Mm.
No, I like work with one artist.
I'm with
Like
it.
me and an artist I work together, I like have a project. Like I saw me and Andrew B used to work. Andrew B was like my artist I'm work with. I like work with a single artist and we'll do a project, and when we're done, we'll go to our next project, you know. So that's how me used to work. But Fragga, that mighty buckle thing there, is I can tell at the raw moon. It come out of the raw moon inspiration from Fragga.
Yeah.
I'm representing all the time, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fragga put that tune there together with the mouse and all. I don't even know, you know. Yeah.
With the
and the Pro Tool was that era where we never even, because you know, we come from the 8 track, the King Tubbies, and the 24 track, and you know, so Fragga really educate I and I to them thing there, you know, and we still have to take a break to learn the whole aspects of what Pro Tool is, and you know, so I saw that project that really come about, you know.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Fitzroy.
Yes, I.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Fragga, it's, you know, that production there is embedded in time. It doesn't matter how many years you play it, it's still going to sound fresh. You and Ikemas, man, you can hear every passion in your voice in that particular song.
Give thanks.
So as you forward now, you brought your family in. Like I think you told me that your son was into productions, right?
Yes. I did an EP quite recently called Timeless, and him was the one who produced all of the songs, build all of the beats and stuff like that. And then a wifey do all of the mixing, the mastering and recording and stuff like that. You know
Talk
what I
about
mean?
keeping it in the family, Sharon.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we keep it in the family, you know, but at the end of the day, we kind of leave choiceless. You know what I mean? Not, that is because of choicelessness make me have the family involved, but I'm just saying it for what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because them do different things away from music, but them see the struggles and them see what I'm going through on a daily basis, and them say, no, can't leave you like that, we're going to be supportive, you know what I mean? And, you know, we all put our shoulders to the wheel and just stay consistent, you know, and just tug along.
That's the motivation in the end, though. The simple fact that your family, right? Your family is supportive of what you're doing. Some people don't even have that. You know what I mean? But you got the support of the woman in your life, and then you grow your kids to a certain age and they see what you're doing, what your passion is, and they're like, no, we have to stand by him because you're doing the right thing. Again, a blessing. That is not easy. And of course you were choiceless, you know what I mean, given what was happening to you and who you were actually dealing with. It's hard to trust certain people in the business. That's not, you know what I mean? And to then link with, what's his name? Mighty Full 13. Listen to that gentleman there. Yeah, Mighty Fitzroy, right?
Yeah. Yes,
And you link with an individual like that. He's of the thing is, even in that union, he's of that particular mindset like you.
Yes.
That's what makes it work. He's in the same, you have to link your mind with people with the same mindset, or it just don't work. Who understands you. You made a point, and I'm saying all that to say, bringing it back, because I listen intently when somebody's speaking. When you were in the studios with certain people, you were in there like, boy, I miss this. You always sit down and humble. And maybe you said that probably was a turn off to them. No, they weren't ready for you. But a particular individual like Mightyful, right? Could see your vision, hear you, respect what you're saying.
Yes.
In terms of vision and the collaboration, that's how it works. Them people were not ready for you. They were not ready for you at that time. And as fortunate as it was, as fortunate as it is, the fact that, yes, without the shadow of a doubt, you were taken advantage of. You were young. You were young, but you were not gullible, but you were young and did not have the information needed for you to be like, well, you know, what about this? Let me tell you something. At that age, I want you to really think about this. At 16 years old, you coming out with that song. If you had said, yeah, so here's my paperwork, do you think that they didn't want anything to do with you then? That would be because you have more knowledge than them. You understand me? If you had come and said, why? I know I'm supposed to get paid for this and that and blah, blah, blah. They would have cut you off right there because as a young man, you then know too much. So they took advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly what happened. So everything in its place and time, but you learn now how it worked. And look at your little family around you. Because if you build it, you and your family built what you have now. If you build it, people will come. But when they come for you, they're going to come for you in the right way. They cannot mess with what you got going on. And that is how it's supposed to be.
True.
That's exactly how it's supposed to be. Who's to come for you? They'll come for you. They will come for you. Boy, me and you know, I want to do this and I want. They will come for you, but when they come for you, they better fix them out the right way to be like, all right, well, here's some paperwork and blah, blah, blah. They cannot come to you no other way. That is your blessing.
True.
That is your blessing 1,000%. Yeah. Let me ask you this question though.
Yes.
Eka Mouse is a particular man. Eka Mouse is a particular man. What is it like working with him?
Well, Eka Mouse to me is a very eccentric kind of personality.
Yes.
And because I'm very laid back, it gives me the opportunity to analyze and approach people from a different aspect, a different angle. You know what I mean? Me always try to approach within mood, timing, you know, the proper environment and everything. I take all of that to consideration. Because being as I'm an artist as well, it gives me a different insight in terms of how I'm supposed to approach another artist, how they would like to be represented, how they would like to be addressed, and so forth. You know, so when you have that type of approach, it gives you a better understanding in terms of how you collaborate or you correlate with people. You know, so I use my natural approach, step to him as a man to a man and show him the vision and the project. And he said, "Fragga, come on, no problem, artist." And it was just like that. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So what that teaches me is that all what I didn't get in the earlier stage in terms of material trappings and things, again, that show respect and support from fellow brethren and sisters, you know what I mean, and co-workers in the industry. So that to me is a greater legacy than if me have all of the money in the world and nobody never liked me. That to me would be like, but just the mere fact that I'm an approachable person and I'm a respectful person in terms of other persons, it gives me a different outlook on life. So I utilize that approach in my day-to-day routine. Anybody who know Fragga, know Fragga as an individual, not Fragga Ranks. That's only on stage. You can just call me Fragga the person where you see me in a real life. You know what I mean? Me not try to use my persona, musically speaking, as this big reference and me and the man, not like that. That's ignorance. But like when you can approach me, you know, and we have amicable respect for each other, and you know what I mean, we have hopeful outcome, and we just work.
Yeah,
because everybody, no matter how insignificant it might seem at the time, everybody contribute to the race of life. Everybody existence is important. There's nobody that is not important, regardless of how insignificant they might seem to me and others. They are important to the Most High and to creation itself. So when you have that kind of outlook on life, it gives you a total different approach and it gives you a total different appreciation for life, for people, and for things. You know, you know how to differentiate and you address things based on, you know what I mean? The fullness of such. It not put you over the top and make you feel like, oh, 10-star general, him have no man talk to me, sure enough. No. But I'm willing to learn, I'm a sponge. So as much as you might impress with how me articulate myself or express myself, likewise, I'm just yearning and hungry, hungry for knowledge and understanding from you guys as well. because there's so much you guys know that I don't know.
Mm.
And the only way I can know is to have correspondence. You know what I mean? Reason
Right.
why I'm willing to share and depart some information that only make me a stronger person, because information is my fuel to life. If I don't have information, I can't sing music. So it's important for me to be a good listener. You know what I mean? So that's just my approach to life. I just try to take it as simple as possible.
Right,
And
right.
it kind of retain and keep me on a level, because sometimes people might say, oh, long me I hear about you, Fragga. Where me I look for see an older guy and stuff like that. I say, my because me I do it from so young, you know what I mean? But I say, no, still. I say, well, then my dear, that's the mindset. Because that have to do it in terms of how you sustain, the free mind and so forth and things like that. You just have an open expectation in terms of life. Don't have no set expectation, because it bring disappointment.
Yes.
So if this it never work out where we never get to talk, me not go feel no way negative about it, because me never have an expectation of perfection.
For
Never
real.
expectation to put this motion and get this thing done. But if it never get done, there's always a next time to make it better and greater. You know what I mean? So there's no room for negativity. So I say, oh, don't start waste my time. I'm gonna go. No, might be the next time 10 times better than now.
Yeah.
So we must always maintain that optimism. Keep our mind free from negative entity. You know what I mean? And we're good to go. You see, if we as a people, general, can just have a different concept to life and understand how detrimental ignorance is, believe you me, them couldn't hold black people again.
Hey.
Ignorance and excuse.
Yeah.
That's real talk. Facts. That
Exactly.
was facts.
Yes,
Facts.
Mama. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Facts.
So
Facts.
it's just a simple situation. Everything with life simple and complex. Not about it 10-star general.
Yeah.
I mean, me never met you yet in the flesh. You come all America, we never get to meet up. But
Yeah.
the connection we have, it's beyond the physical appearance.
For real.
You can call upon me anytime, and you know I'm there for the eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
With no ultimate. Yeah. Like how me know sister, I know the same difference. Because
Yeah.
we respect and love and honor.
Yeah.
Because on the rare, rare. When I like gem, when I like the last of a dying breed. You don't really have who will bring forth these kind of panel and these kind of discussion that can aid artist development and bring a better direction and perspective to the industry. Everybody just about the hype and just about this, what you call it now, the shock value.
Yeah.
Ratings and click. No.
Yeah.
If you deal with something substantial, it lasts the test of time, it becomes timeless. So why you worry about the current hype? If Bob Marley don't worry about that, he won't last till now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why, in light of everything, again, I'm going to say, everything that you've been through in your career, it's highly important for us to have these heart-to-heart conversations. Again, not so much as talking about the issues and the problems with the industry, because I think we all know it by now. But now we have to start talking about solutions. So this conversation that I'm doing on the 15th of July, I would love you to be part of it. Motherful 13 is going to be there as well. And we have people like Sly Dunbar, he's going to be part. Chuck Fender is going to be part. Jerry Harris, Bubblers, you name it. A whole lot of people are going to be on that show. And we're going to talk about the solutions. What are the solutions? We need to start documenting these things. So we need to speak our truth or forever be quiet. And you know, there's time that they say silence is complicity, right? I think that's the word, right? You know, and if we don't talk, how are we going to know what the issues are? So my thing is we need to start talking, not for our generation, because we're in the thick of it, right? So it's about the next generation. how can we help the next generation? Because those who put their blood, sweat, and tears, people like yourself, it goes even deeper and further than yourself. When we go back to people like maybe even Gregory Isaacs or, you know, the Jamaicans or the Jamaicans and, you know, all the people who made all these classic songs, right?
Yeah.
And they were living a life of destitution. How can that be right? And how can we still be standing with a straight face, allowing these things to continue?
Well, one of the major problem we have is that we have everything else except each other. And if we can constantly pool resources together, then all of this gets solved. You know, because technology solves a lot, but technology cannot go that far. Because without the people, the technology have no value. So if we, the people, don't maintain and sustain a certain type of integrity, then there's no way we can heal ourselves.
Yeah.
And when we heal ourselves, we put in a better position to lead that the future generation can follow. Because we can't lead with flaws. There's no way the future generation going to look up to us if we're all flawed. And you know, you tell him, say, don't do that, but then the things you do, it's like him say, but oh, you tell me don't do that, and you do 10 times worse than me. So it's like the part of that can't work.
Yeah.
We have to maintain a stance and maintain a certain integrity. Or we ever do that? Collectively. It can be done. This is a step, this is a great step to that same accomplishment. By you putting a platform like this together with you and Sister Sharon. You can't beat it. You have to join it.
I always say to even, I don't even cut you, what's missing, and I've said it a good few times in this industry, people in general, is the camaraderie between individuals, right? I would say 80s and 90s, when people were even talking about dancehall and certain music, you could go to a function and see all these artists together, same room, everybody waiting to get on, right? Respecting each other's little space. That was camaraderie right there for your next brother who's coming. You're coming up, they're coming up.
Yeah.
Right? But respectively, as a group of individuals doing their own thing, they had camaraderie, togetherness. They backed each other. I don't know what happened after that. Everybody lost their mind when they, you know what I should say? When some found out how much money they could make by going over there with John B or making money with this one, then then the rivalry begins, right? Everybody's trying to cut your throat and everybody's, it's unfortunate, but that is real talk. Every time I think back to that time, the camaraderie was what was attracting us to go to these functions and have a good time and leave there with the greatest experience. I've seen so many well-known artists in one place, right? That is what reggae, dancehall, real dancehall, that was what it was. It was a togetherness. People could go out and have a good time. Now it's not even, it's the camaraderie again, that's what's missing. We can't get that. It's just not there now. So all of that being said, why we are, because I'll be there too for this panel, why we are doing this panel is a solution. We have to find a solution to get back to that.
To strengthen what you're saying, Sister Sharon, is the camaraderie used to come from the fact that other than the struggles, most people did really committed to the craft, right? The craft come first.
Right.
Because you cannot have a business if you don't have product or produce. You know what I mean? Because you won't be selling nothing. So most people own the craft before. We used to have auditions. We used to approach it from a more organic standpoint.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if a guy never have the talent, we just tell him as it is, bro. You got to do some work and you got to come back next week.
That's it.
Because this is going to represent the craft and take it to the next level.
Right.
Because of technology and politics and, you know, ignorance, first and foremost, most people come into the music because they have the money. But them don't understanding and them don't have the knowledge. And them don't understand say it's a living art form. It's not about just making money and spending money. It's about the essence.
Right.
That's why everybody can't be a star.
Right.
Because it take a certain essence, it take a certain texture, it take a certain commitment, it take a certain vibration. That's why everybody receive every different artist differently.
Yeah.
It no matter how articulative they want to be in terms of, you know, fluent with lyrics and performance and things like that, it comes down to essence. No essence equalize commitment. So if you don't commit it to the craft, you will never project or exude a certain kind of essence. And that's what missing from the game. Because when you check on most of the older artists, then you could have feel them even before you see them.
Yeah.
When you hear them name, you feel the vibration. Because you know there is a historical foundation where commitment, consistency, and professionalism is concerned. So more than ever, the business need development, artist development. That we can do better interviews, better performances, you know what I mean? And approach it from a more upful standpoint and we get a greater result. It's not that nothing wrong with none of approach don't right because them not proper guidance. Because what if a talented youth out there, but them just need proper guidance. And you blame them more time when them hear our story and it's like a horror movie. All of the bad things we've been through, who them are gonna trust? To even give them the opportunity where development is concerned, them not gonna trust anybody. Because they must say, yeah, Fragga did say that, John Brown did say that, him did have that, him do this and that and never get nothing. None of them guys can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, you blame him. Because there's nobody with a exemplary track record. Mr. Well then, boy, yeah, this is my Rasta, and this is what me do, this is what me contribute to, and this is what me constantly doing up to this present moment. Everybody just like a quick dollar. Oh, we get a dollar, get a dollar, get a dollar. Nothing wrong with getting a dollar. But why you not just put it in position that you can constantly get a dollar? Rather than just the image and then down the line everything disappears. And the word that stems from ignorance. Ignorance is the root foundation of everything that is negative.
Yeah.
And it took me a lot of time, all of years to come to that conclusion because me myself, within an investigative side of my mind, I try to analyze what's going wrong. Why them people don't have the vision? Why them have certain things? But we realize that the ignorance is bliss. Them can't see it. And then them have money. So give ignorant money, give ignorant man money, you motivate ego. Or you ever talk to an egotistic person?
Right.
Because the first thing they don't want objectivity. That's why most of the money want yes people. You go around the money and say to him, say, Virgin, you're flat, you know. Oh, me don't want to tell me nothing, you know. A long time right now.
Yes.
We are listening, you are deliver. My son at 13 years of age when him start a record me and him say, Daddy, you're flat this up. I'm going to take instruction from a 13-year-old. Because him a listen. There's two different perspectives. Me a deliver, him a listen. So it's two different point of view. How can I dispute facts? Because me being the dad, that's ignorance. Not until we get over that hump, cannot sustain.
Yeah.
Losing battle, downhill. First thing we have to conquer is ignorance. And then we have room for development. If we don't conquer ignorance, it ain't going nowhere 12 star. May I tell you the truth? It ain't going nowhere. Well, you have everything, you know. The empress have everything, but then if the people on the platform now what it require, it don't make what you're doing relevant.
True. True.
So the problem is not us, it's the people who get stiff and want to stick in a particular frame of mind.
Yeah.
And don't want to emancipate themselves from mental slavery as well, Baba said.
Yeah.
All of that is slavery. Enough money out there, everybody rich 10,000 times over. So this is why we know ignorance causes the problem, you know. It's not money, it's ignorance. It's not money. Because the amount of money we out there, even if them give me every bank in the world, I can't have a third eye. First thing I can't carry.
Yeah.
I might never see $100 million in terms of the physical appearance. You need a forklift to carry that. So this is everything is just a state of mind. We have to get over the ignorance. If we don't get over the ignorance, we now have no tangible result. And this is why you see me kind of just chill back and don't even dare to venture the music too tough. I mean, until my son come, because my son really get me back in it, and then because I love it so much, I say, well, you know, I'm going to do my best to motivate him and keep him, and so him can, you know, fulfill him potentials if a music he want to deal with. If he want to deal with music, I support him to whatever he want to do as a career choice, you know what I mean? But him say music, and me, I'm going to be the muse, like how you'd have a photographer and him have a muse.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. Yeah.
To motivate him, because me, I do for him when nobody never do for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the stance and say, boy, I never get that thing, so him have to do it on them own. But how can I do that? When every other nation maintain them own until them all 36, the black people are the only people I tell them youth when them are 18, come out of the house. No. And everybody mature at the same time. You have early bloomers and you have late bloomers.
Yeah.
So give the youths a chance, you know what I mean? But hey, as I say, come down to that. If we not alleviate or eradicate ignorance, we don't have a chance.
Right.
That's the root right now in our creation. Not even just the music, in the earth itself. Because everything negative you can think of, tell me where it stems from ignorance. It's most an ignorant decision or situation or some misinformation, which is ignorance again.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I tell you what, before the show ends, tell me about 262 Inc.
Well, the new label, this is something I work with on thing, you know, my new brainchild, new pet project, you know what I mean? We have it, you know, we do the Tough City, as you know, before. We do the
Yeah, I'm gonna get you to talk about that actually.
Yeah. So, you know, we come up with a different name because we have some problem with Ramon because we're in collaboration with somebody else and started political, so we just come up with a different thing, you know what I mean? Something totally independent of what we had before.
So 262 is now registered now, right?
Yeah, it's registered, yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a LLC.
Good. Good.
Yes.
Now tell me about Tough City, because just one day you sent me with, and this is years ago, you sent me footage and he said, check it out. You didn't say nothing, but you just said, check it out. I mean, check it out, and I'm watching, and I'm watching the emergence of Dagadan.
Yeah.
Tell me about Tough City and how that came about.
Yeah, well, Tough City come about because I was working with a specific producer over like 10 years. We had a 10-year period. And he's a man who always think out of the box. So I said, well, then, you know, I have to come up with a different concept or a different approach where the promotion of this project is concerned. So I say, I'm going to do some shots, like some of the short films, and each one of them going to give like a small synopsis or a small reflection in terms of the concept or, you know, the narrative or the music or whatever. But then when we put out the first 3, which I did on the phone, and then my baby mom are the one who edited it and my son shoot it and them type of thing, you know, the feedback was tremendous. So I said, yo, we look like we find something, and, you know, we just consist because we have the proper camera. So we turn over to the proper camera, and then we start get everybody who, you know, the New York space involved, such as Fragga Ranks, you know what I mean, Junior Cat, Courtney Melody, BH Man, Screechy Joe, you know.
BJ Man, you know.
You know, quite a few artists well. I try to get everybody who I know involved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they don't have any acting skills before, when we're done with them, then say, oh, it's easy to get done. You know what I mean? Because I make them feel comfortable, and I coach them and give them the right direction and thing and get the job done. And ask me with the concept and writing the scripts and all of that. God, he knows. We get done.
Wow.
So me just give all of the inspiration to the Most High. These things just happen.
Right.
It be an explanation. There are certain things you cannot explain it.
Right.
I never try to explain it because it's beyond me. You know what I mean? I just know if you give me the opportunity to do certain things, it's going to get done.
Let me tell you something.
Like in an intricate aspect, I can't explain it.
Let me tell you something, brother. From the outside perspective, right? From a person who watches those series that you put out, you know, I can see you on the big screen, right?
Word, give thanks.
your mindset ever reached that far?
Yeah, to a certain extent, based on the feedback and stuff we I get from it and things, my mind did reach at that level. But then the requirements and it requires so much more because it's a different turn from the music. This now is a double whammy whereby you deal with the visual and you deal with the audio. When you deal with the music, it was just the audio, but now me have mixed both. You know what I mean? So I deal with the visual and I deal with the audio, and then the same running at the same issue when we can't find people who share a similar concept. So them can be more supportive where might be finance is concerned, because it's a very strenuous process when it comes to the production side of things, forget all of the cast members, the outfits, all of them type. It's a lot. It's a lot. But me like challenges, you know what I mean? So I take it as a challenge and things like that, but challenge myself and see what I can accomplish and see the different avenues that I can venture in terms of how productivity can be with me. I do it and involve other people to get the opportunity as well. Because it's not about just me. I just like see people strive.
Right.
It's something for me. I don't know, because this is because I never get that opportunity to really be the person who I'm supposed to be. I always want to see through others. That makes sense. But that's what I tell people. It's just come natural. So that was one of the motivation behind it and things like that, until people start saying, yo, you find something and thing. But then I start running an issue again where the people who may work with is concerned, because most of them are not actors per se. And them have them 9 to 5 and them have them everyday life and stuff like that. So it kind of have a conflicting vibes in terms of timing and the shoot. And I can't put any pressure upon them because it's a paid process. Because I'm have the budget to deal with it on the level I'm supposed to deal with it. But I just do it to the best of my ability. And, you know what I mean?
In a weird kind of way, kind of remind me of Juice.
Yeah.
In a weird kind of way, it reminded me of Juice.
You ever seen that movie, Juice? Yeah.
With Tupac. You saw the film with Tupac, right? Called Juice.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. Anyway, I just want to take this time out to encourage you to just keep on keeping on. I still see you. I've seen you in the past. I still see you in the future of our music industry. And now that you've chosen another path, which is your directing and movie, path as well, I see bigger things going on there. You know what I mean? So we just want to encourage you to keep on elevating, because that's what you're doing. And you're showing your children that same thing too. You know what I mean? And you've got your kids into your productions as well. Everything you've done, I make it a point of duty to keep up with what you're doing, because I know you have an EP out. I think it came out in 2013 this year, called Timeless. I have that, in my catalog too. Tell me about Timeless.
Well, Timeless come along, because I'm my son, we hang about and vibe. I'm trying not to just only have a relationship with him where it's a father and son kind of situation, because I'm wise enough to realize that if I do too much of that, then I'm going to hide him true potentials, because I'm going to get timid and, you know what I mean? Feel that kind of way. So many talk and things, and I say, why you not do an EP? I said, well, it sounds like a good idea and stuff like that, and they make me hear a couple of rhythms. And then, everything start come along with like the Al Campbell, Anthony B. We have Michael Palmer, and upcoming artists from the community. We're in East Flatbush called Skrilla Mati. Because as I'm saying, I like to give young talent and new people an opportunity.
That's right.
So that's how the project comes along and stuff like that. So,
That's right.
But the whole thing was the motivation of my son. Because him say, him have the beats and stuff like that, and we can get the job done. So we just approach it. We did get it done. Him is the same one who do the artwork and all of them type of thing. And
Oh,
just
yes,
get it done.
I do the artwork too.
Yeah.
Bring in the son. Where's Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah, Bayak, him depend Bayak.
Make we see him. Make we see the genius in the making.
You know, I don't think I realized where he was. Like, where here in the he's in New York.
New York, yeah, but ask him anyway.
Fragga, I didn't realize that you was in New York.
Yes, I'm in New York, Brooklyn.
Round the corner from me.
And I'm in New Jersey, so you just crossed the water.
Yeah, wow, look at that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, where is he? Let's see him.
Hello.
Big up genius.
Oh, we saw him. Yes. He had logged in, you know.
Split
He had
image.
logged in. Saw his little face. I was like, who's this young man coming in?
Wait, Fragga.
Fragga Ranks.
Are you
Are you twin? That's your twin right there. Minus the dimples. Has he got dimples like daddy?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That is your
Listen,
twin.
I love your productions, brother. What's your name?
Spider Beats.
Spider Beats.
No, Bayak Beats.
Okay. Well, I just want to encourage you, yeah? And to keep on. I listened to your EP with the beats that you played on there. And, you have something there, which is why I bought it, you know what I mean? Because I remember your dad telling me that, you were doing some of the beats. So just keep on doing what you're doing, experimenting, however you do your magic, just keep on keeping on, you know what I mean?
Wherever you're getting the inspiration from, for a young man at that age to be so motivated, you're an amazing individual because the focus is there. You know what I mean? That's what makes this very beautiful. This young man's focus is there. He has no time for the outside crap. He's like, oh, I'm gonna help my dad. My dad is my muse, right? You're working with your muse. How many people could even say that? Look at you at this age, destined for greatness. So whatever your choice is in life, whatever your choice is in life, and I can say this because I'm saying real quick, I have a daughter. I didn't know what she wanted to be. I have one daughter. And when she said that she liked to cook, I'm like, oh, okay. When I realized what this girl was doing and that she rose to greatness, she is now the executive performance chef for the Dallas Mavericks. She is vetted by the NBA. Carmelo Anthony was her boss for 6 years. Oprah Winfrey, Reverend Run, all these people are in her pocket because she works with all these people. So I say this, that's what I'm saying, what I say to you. Wherever you desire, or whatever you think you need to be, or what you want to be, you go for it because the world is yours. You are the future. You are the future in this generation.
Tell him again, you said he's the what?
He is the future. And you better believe that.
One more time.
You are the future.
Oh.
You are the future. Just like my daughter and all of you coming up, you are the future. She made a stamp. You make that stamp too, whatever it is you're going into, because you're about to change the game. We know in a couple of years, they're going to hear about some Academy Award winning, some Tonys. You're going to be doing something, but you're going to get there. And I'm so honored to meet you. I'm so proud to see this. I'm so proud. Daddy did a good job with you.
Give me salute, man. Give him the salutes.
Salute, my son. My kid too. That's right.
God bless you, brother. Yeah.
Ah.
But no, so he's a proud daddy, you know.
Yes,
He
sir.
has
Yes,
to
sir.
be
Very
proud
proud.
of you.
Very
He's
proud.
proud.
For the first time
Very
in the
proud.
interview, we see your teeth.
Yeah, right. You don't smile today. You smile with it. Right. But Friday, yeah, I didn't realize. Hold on, Doug, I didn't realize you were so close. I didn't. I kept thinking that you was Jamaica. I don't think I got that memo. I'm like, wait, where is Fragga? You crossed the water for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime you need my help,
just
right
across
here
the
in New
water.
Jersey, just across the water. So listen, I'm here. If I could be of assistance in any way, shape, or form, you let me know. We'll
Yes,
definitely
Sister
keep
Sharon.
going, right? Never forget that.
Yes.
I too have a studio right here in the basement here in New Jersey. So if you just
Wow.
need something new, yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the
Studio clear.
invitation. It's well
Oh, well, yeah,
appreciated.
without question, 100%. I'm just saying, I didn't realize you were here because to know you now and know who you are is to love you because you've contributed to so much. But 10 Star said his piece, I'm going to say mine. I don't think you know. I really don't think you know what your purpose is yet. You are bigger than you think you are. I know you said something in the very beginning and I could see you're ahead of your time. The purpose here today is to give you your flowers and for you to recognize who you are, what you've accomplished, and what you're about to accomplish. It's the most beautiful thing for us to see visually, an individual as yourself.
Thank you.
Just, you've contributed so much. However, your journey has not even begun to start. You're bigger than you think you are. Watch and see. Watch and see what's coming. I am honored to see what's coming for you. It's going to be a
Thank
very
you so much.
thing. It really, really, really is. You've got amazing, amazing people around you, and just enough of those amazing people. Not an entourage, just enough of those people that will make the difference in you, in your trajectory.
Thank you.
In this business. It's a beautiful thing to see. And that is my God piece, because I know I am blessed to see. Sometimes you could just look at somebody and say, yeah, I see your whole light. And I said that in the very beginning about you. I said, you could see this thing about you. You're at peace with who you are.
Thank you.
That's why you will make it. I am just happy to deliver that message.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you see, these are the things that really keeps me. Moments like this, people like you and 10 Star General is my fuel, is my motivating factor. You know, it's not the hype and the excitement and none of that. It's just tangible people giving me good encouragement. That's like more than you can ever think of, more than you can ever ask for. So I'm so appreciative and I'm so thankful to even know and meet somebody like you, even though we have never met in person.
Right.
But just this moment is such an inspirational moment. And it's so heartfelt and so motivational that I don't even have words to express. And you know, it's all because of this man. He's always giving me strength. 10 Star General, you know, mighty full 13, one of them good people. You know, all of the good people I'm ever to say, you know what I mean, commendable. Thank you so much for being there for me over the years and, you know, being supportive. You know what I mean? It means a lot to me. Very much so. Yes.
Well, we're honored to deliver that message to you. You said 10 Star's been around a long time. The example with 10 Star and I is this: we're like-minded individuals.
Yes.
10 Star and I go way back. We were in school together. So we're coming from all the way back. I always want to make a point for people to know, I didn't just come in. 10 Star was doing his thing and I was doing my thing. But because of our passion and love for the music and for artists and for entertainment altogether, as like-minded individuals, we wanted to be the change that people want to see. We wanted to make that difference. So us doing this and giving you your flowers, it's now time-stamped that if people will look back and like, boy, that was some interview and look where they are now. You know what I mean? This is time-stamped in history, and I'm so happy and so proud that you came on to do your talk today, because we've learned so much about you. I hope that even
sorry to interrupt, but we do have scratch the surface. You know what I mean? We need like a whole entire month for me to even give you a synopsis of what I've been through on a detailed basis. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to like consolidate as much information as possible so you can have an understanding. But it's much deeper than this.
Right, but that's the whole thing. We know fact.
Yeah.
The pieces that you've shared with us,
Yes.
it told your whole story. But I'm gonna tell you this one thing, what's gonna happen. Those pieces you will put together and put it in a film. That is what your job is.
Wow.
Your job is to put this on film to help and motivate others. That is what you're gonna do. There is so much that you could say. There is so much, but the pieces you gave us surely understand your story. You are one of many, but as a Jamaican, you need to put that on film, and that is your journey. Remember me tell you something.
Thank you.
Remember me tell you that.
Yes. I'm gonna take it serious.
Take it serious.
Trust me. I'm gonna take it serious, Empress, for real.
Take it serious.
From you to God years, take it serious. From your amount to God years, but take it serious, Empress. Trust me.
Right. That is what you're supposed to do.
Kind of motivation 10-star very serious. Because rarely people like you and Sister Sharon come along who have a genuine and platonic, connection and just like effortless support. You know what I mean? And I can feel the vibes likewise because it reciprocate. You sister, such a feel me. Me and the eye always have a good vibes, but the same difference. I feel the same vibes from the eye and the very supportiveness. And I just can't ask some more. I'm so thankful for this moment. This moment means a lot to me. Because at least it shows me that people is paying attention to what I've been doing over the years. So it's not all in vain. So this really means a lot to me. Because it don't take a lot for me to be satisfied. So long as it's sincere and it's up for, that's all that concerns to me. You know what I mean? That's all the concerns. That good people are giving me good encouragement. Can't ask some more. Nothing the lot out of me this much to me. Just so I'm so thankful,
Yep, you are very welcome. And again, my door is open. I'm just across the water. If I know an artist is here and I'm like, well, I'm here too. You need me for something? And I can help you. Call me. I'm there.
Yes.
You need something, say you need some kind of music, because it's what we have going on here, even the productions, it's live instruments that's going on. There's certain things you might need to go forward. Remember, you have a connection here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need this.
Yes, give so much thanks for the opportunity of such.
Yeah, without question, because you are building something that you haven't even seen yet. So trust on that. Believe that. Believe that you're building something you haven't seen yet. It'll come.
Fragga Ranks. Well, we're gonna end the show right there.
Yes.
Again, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I am going to invite you to the show on the 15th of July, so that you can be part of that discussion, because you know full well about the industry and what you've been through. What you've been through is what many other artists have been through. We're going to speak our truth in real time. You know what I mean? So it will be a blessing to have you there. I thank you for coming on to the show. Big respect to Sharon Bentley for making the connection as well, and told her to reach out to you, and she done a diligent job. Thank you for being here. Big respect to Sharon Mango. Big respect to Mitre for 13. Big respect to everybody who turned up for Fragga Ranks in the audience here. Those of you who made comments and contributed, those of you who listened, thank you very much. We are going to be back here next week. I think next week, who do we have next week? Let me just say quickly who we have next week.
We have next week.
Who we got?
So we have, wow. Oh, wait. So
who is it?
24th, right? Yeah, Shining Star coming back.
Oh, yes, Shining Stars are coming back.
Shining Stars coming back.
Slowly. And then we have our mental health awareness show. So that is another good show for you to look out for. Fragga Ranks, I salute you, brother.
Yes, King.
I want to play just one or two.
Salute, Sister Sharon. Blessing love.
Yes, my brother.
Yes.
We'll send the link. 10 Star will send you the link. We're gonna keep in touch.
Yes.
Let me know. All right, brother.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Somebody said it's a great show. Thank you for all those who tuned in. Thank you so much for all those who tuned in. It was a great show. Great show.
Thank you so much.
Booyaka, booyaka. Here is Fragga Ranks with something called Turn It Up. Take it on.
Conversation show.
Take it on.
Mountain says, happy take it on, happy take it on, happy take it on. What a day, life for the rich. What a day, what a day.
Taken from the Timeless EP.
Happy take it on, me and the road before, no for them man. Take it on, happy take it on. Me and the road before, no for them man. Take it on, happy take it on. Young bud no lose time. School fee, me have to take it on. Bill CP, have to take it on. Baby just man, me have to take it on. Big man thing, now keep calm. The last thing to see and the machine in my palm. If you see that mean me head gone. You should have lucky say, I man reform. Life is a jungle, you better put the scope on the right angle. When me a go through, enough of them get trampled. You have to take it on, have to take it on. Me a do road before, enough of them born. Take it on, have to take it on. Me a do road before, enough of them born. Take it up.
Oh, we now refuse, nothing man. Bowman for know herself and know.
Barrington, Levy, Fragga Ranks.
Confused, Barrington, Levy and Fragga, they for the move.
Roses are red, violets are blue. It's not many girls, it's as fortunate as you. Roses are red, violets are blue. It's not many girls, it's as fortunate as you. I gave you 100% of loving, and when you get it, my girl, you don't want it. Gave you 100% of loving, and when you get it, my girl, you abused it. Girl, why you do it? You shouldn't do it. Why you do it? Mess with my loving. Girl, why you do it? You shouldn't do it.
Wrong intention.
True love is hard to find.
Bounce it like a ball. Harder them come is the easier them fall. When you bounce it like a ball. Harder them come is the easier them. With a superior thinking, say your next man small. But to God Almighty, me a go ball. Me know one day him a go answer me call. A him run things overall.
Well, that's all, folks. That's my line. Simplified, babe. Let a star do this. That's all. Folks.
Can I go home now?
I'm 10-Star General from Stockhead Promotions, and I'm out of here. If you enjoy the content we provide on this YouTube channel, then why not help us by subscribing to SPRB Radio Podcast? Thank you in advance.